Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of Zero Escape. Today I am joined by Servy and not Mini Zero, because my mini stan is not active at the moment, and thankfully Servy is.
Yeah.
Ah man.
I am
do
sick
apologize.
though, so if I sniffle or cough, that's why.
I just woke up, so if I'm like I just woke up, then that's why. Wait, let me check. Is the game working? Yes, it is. Alright, let's just get right back into it. Today we're going to avenge Science Boy and hopefully murder this Zero fellow.
Oh.
I mean, that's what Science Boy deserves, right? He needs the revenge. Oh.
Death and carnage.
No. He just needs justice. Yes. Oh god, yeah, the chat widget is not working. Oh well.
Everything is dead.
Please tell me if the audio is okay, Servy, because OBS bugged out and I had to reinstall everything. That was the scariest shit in my life.
Okay, one sec, I'll check.
I am here, live streaming Zero Escape.
I realized you didn't have much gameplay audio playing. You need to go a little further for me to really check.
It's at, actually, I'll turn it up a bit, because I know that Zero Escape mixes its audio a bit lower than everybody else. They nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. Oh yeah, this is where we left off.
Can you stream it for me, Zero?
Oh, that is something that I should do, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
Did I? They were just where the map had said they would be. Whoa.
We're back.
Genius. Aw,
In
shit.
the hospital room.
How did we make the loop-de-loop?
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying.
Oh, well, hello there, Ace.
The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8. You
Yup.
solved the puzzles in the operating room.
I like they're giving you a recap since we just started to get...
And then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
I think they made that point where we would open the door for like streamers and like let's players to end their video there. I think that's what Uchikoshi was thinking about.
Oh yeah, back when
like
the DS was in its prime, that's what they were thinking about.
If it did, people, I'm pretty sure that somebody might have made videos on the DS. I don't know if that's even possible. After only just waking up. Well, I mean, yeah, I did just wake up. But it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. Don't worry, I didn't take anything to help me sleep like Ace did. Or maybe I did.
So Pearl.
He had managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of algorithm.
Yes, all according to plan.
TL note, Keikaku means plan.
I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me.
Also, welcome back, Gia Chip. I'm glad to have you here, as always.
I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
7, ever the optimistic.
Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Here.
7 tossed something small and metallic for Junpei.
Whoa.
Nice catch.
Jeez.
He caught it and found that the object was indeed a key, just as Seven had said.
See, so
Is that 21? 21. Was Jupiter the meme the entire time?
Yeah.
No wonder why it's so big. On it, someone had engraved a symbol very similar to a 4. That's a fancy looking 4. It's definitely a 21. Come on, Junpei. He looked over at June, who nodded back. It had to be the 21 symbol.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that, all right?
Yeah,
Well, thanks, Seven.
Did you know that the digital root of Jupiter is 3? Junpei tucked the no key into his pocket.
How many Windows keys do we have now?
there's the Earth key we found in the laboratory,
That's literally just a crosshair, dude.
the Saturn key card we found in the kitchen,
TH.
and the Jupiter key you just gave me.
And 21. You know, maybe I should be writing these things down. I don't know. Mukuro Ikusaba. Don't mind me, guys. That was just a random name. The amount of times that I wrote that name, though, in my notepad is kind of alarming. Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
No gays allowed.
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase.
I'm sorry if my jokes are stupid, I just woke up.
Yeah.
Wait!
I don't think that's an excuse though, I'm kinda just stupid in general. They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Cause like, when me and Kiwi were streaming Genshin, I was making jokes about like slapping people with my big sword, and I found it very, very funny. Her face
So what
suggested
you're
they weren't
telling me
already.
is that you're 6.
Sure. If that's what you want to infer from that. Also,
You
after
are
I told everybody
A
that
child with a child's sense of humor.
I am a child with a child's sense of humor in an adult body that is not fit for living in this world at all. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
What about Snake? There were tears in her eyes, but she cleared at 7 as hard as she could. Just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. I could very easily resist that. I mean, I guess I am kind of used to it since we have Kiwi along with us all the time, so. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry.
It
Snake
is.
might be on the other side of door 3.
I bet you he's hiding under a box on the other side of door 3. Clover nodded once. You get the joke? Do you remember the joke? Yeah, I would call you Kiwi, yeah, Serby.
Excuse you. How dare you?
I'm sorry, we were talking to Clover and that's what was on my mind. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again.
I suppose so.
7, you'll help me, won't you?
You have been sleeping for a week after all.
Huh? Me?
Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 equals 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Just like 21 Jupiter. Bruh. It looked like 7 was doing them too. At least At last, he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So, huh?
Yes, you are.
All right, let's get
Ace is like, yeah, you got no choice.
And so, it was decided that Clover, Ace, 7 would discover what lay beyond door number 3.
It's kind of funny, yeah, because Ace volunteered. He's like, yeah, I can go with you. Which means by math, you must come too, 7. I have volunteered us both.
Yeah, basically.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it
Of
go to your
all
head.
the people.
I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it.
Yeah, honestly, we'd all be in trouble if we lost people, because then math would be harder.
The rest of
Yeah.
us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
You're just worrying about yourself.
Yeah.
7 nodded, as if this answer made much more sense, and pulled the lever on the red. Dead. Redemption.
Okay, we're off.
The
Off
door
to see the
opened.
wizard.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz? An Ace. Over and 7. Jump through it. Whoa. Imagine if that was like a really cool hint that you just did there, and that Zero actually based his game off of the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Whoa.
Oh, that
Imagine.
even mean?
Like, that's why he's named everybody all these things, and then later you'll see Toto. Like a new number, Toto.
Uh-huh.
After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily. At the door, somebody should really oil
Alright,
you.
We should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Imagine, we should get moving too. And then she starts doing aerobics.
Yeah.
Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confuzzled.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it?
Let's do
Let me
aerobics.
explain.
Or maybe we practice cardio for like running
Oh, I
away
get
from
it.
uh
We're gonna see if
the
we
water.
can find anywhere interesting with the Jupiter
Oh, I
key.
see.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
I mean, like, that's like the
Snake.
first thing, right? To
Yeah.
survive an apocalypse, you have to have good cardio. Or else you're gonna get eaten by the zombies. 1 second, guys. Let me drink some of my protein shake. Ah, yeah, that's some good protein.
Channel your inner Sakura.
I am Sakura Okami! I love protein! It heals my wounds! I think that's the wrong Sakura. I think that's Oblivion.
Yeah, don't channel your inner Oblivion. We don't need that.
They were at the end of the hallway, lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
Even
All right,
Batman's
Junpei,
excited for
open it
this.
if you please.
Yeah, on it.
And then we open it and it blows up, and Junpei dies. The end.
Oh. Yeah.
Junpei pulled the 21 key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. Just like he slides into your DM. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and
What?
opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. Nani? It's just like the map says. Impossible. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a
Incredibly.
ballroom.
They give us accurate maps.
Well, to be fair, it's kind of strange that Zero would leave accurate maps around unless if they were like part of his game. This was all of his plan all along. Whoa.
Mhm. Yeah.
What if Zero was the game designer all along? What if I'm Zero? Wait a minute. I am Zero. Oh god.
Great. Back to the beginning.
Brain
You sure this
aneurysm.
is a good idea?
Oh.
What do you mean? Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you.
We have
if
2
there's
more
any reason
keys,
we came
Santa.
back here.
Of course, there's a reason.
Of course
No,
there's
I
a
got no
reason.
idea.
Oh, you know, we're not gonna cosplay as Makoto here.
Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Man. It's because
Santa
Santa
hates
doesn't
luck.
believe. Santa doesn't believe in the Funyarumpa.
This.
That's why. Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key
It's
card
sweeter.
and the Earth key? I'm lost.
You told me to be horny, Xero.
Good job, you're starting to believe. I'm so proud of you. Santa cocked his head to one side, like an inquisitive bird, and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him. Oh, poor Santa.
Don't you remember, Santa?
Don't you
On
remember
C
the
deck,
time
where we are now,
when we
there was a big
fell in
elevator behind
love?
the stairs, remember?
What?
And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it.
Bro, that was like 3 weeks ago, man.
And on A deck, on the door to the left,
Wait, did I even title this stream correctly? Part 4? Yeah, it is. We are correct.
Well, Xero, we have to beat it
there
in the
was a
next 3
keyhole with
weeks.
the Earth symbol on it.
Oh,
I
man.
think.
You gotta hit that
So
nice
the 2 keys
9
that
week.
Dumpy has?
Beat 999 in week 9 for part 9.
Yo. Part 9 stream is just like 10 hours long.
Should let
Yeah.
us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Oh, I know. Once we get to part 9, I'll just go 9.1, 9.2. Yeah,
Yes,
that'll work.
that's right.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
no, I'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
it on 8 until we get to the last stream and then I'll rename it. June smiled, pleased with herself. Good job, Santa. So did Santa.
All right, I got it.
I'm
get started
big
then.
smart boy.
What do you say we split
Gosh.
into 2 teams?
What? 2 teams?
Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Why did you go
Hey,
with Lotus,
you guys get
man?
Earth and we get a big gas planet?
I think they're trying to tell us something.
That's unfair.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search should be brief. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, this does tie into my theory that Santa is actually like the guardian of Earth. That's why he wants the Earth key.
We have no idea what's on the
Oh,
other
was your
side of
theory? I
these.
didn't know that.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because he can like travel around the entire globe in like one night. He's
Oh, I see.
powerful enough to protect us from all the alien invasions that we have never seen before because they're all invisible and they're invading us, but Santa and Rudolph are able to ward them off with his big red nose.
So don't go too far.
So you're
Just search for
telling
10
me
minutes and come back.
Santa is Tuxedo Mask?
I have no idea about that, but that could also be a good theory.
He said he's the
mean-
guardian of Earth.
I mean, Tuxedo Mask also kind of looks like Santa with his big belly, and I guess that's why all the girls love him, so.
What? You just call Tuxedo Mask fat? What?
Oh, sorry, did I ruin your dreams? My bad.
No, I'm confused. He's very much not. So, like, I don't know what you're referring to. I think you
I
need to
mean-
wake up, dude.
What? The tuxedo mask that I have in my head is obviously the correct one because I've definitely 100% have watched Sailor Moon before and know exactly who that is. Like right now in my head, I'm just kind of imagining like the stereotypical Santa with a tuxedo and a mask on. I decided the 2 teams split it up. They split it up. Junpei and June headed for the elevator.
There, I gave you a gif of Tuxedo Mask.
Alright, let me look at this tuxedo man. Yeah, he's pretty fat. Not gonna lie.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
A light on the upper left corner blinked to life.
Great. It looks like it's working now.
All right, now how do I call the elevator?
Elevator! Please!
Well, elevator, come here, please.
There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down
So you
sign.
call it like a normal elevator, is what you're telling me.
What? There's no special elevators here. Why did Xero not think of that? Wouldn't be cool.
No more. How did you not know how to work a normal elevator?
Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
There's only an upside down triangle. Yes, that means it goes down.
Yeah, my basement has the same thing with my elevator. It only has the up arrow. That's what happens.
I thought that you were gonna say that it only has down. I don't know where that would
Yes,
go.
you can only descend deeper from the basement. It's a one-way trip to hell.
Underneath your basement is just the abyss. Imagine. That's what your lab has been keeping a secret this entire time. And they've been experimenting on monkeys in order to send them down to the abyss to explore it. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's my
Oh,
working
no.
theory.
No.
I mean, at our lab, we never do something so inhumane. I may be mad, but I'm not that mad. Door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. The move it to down. Whoa. This looks like an Iron Maiden without the spikes.
Jumpy?
And then like a magic rune circle in the front doors. It really is an elevator to hell.
This also feels like the chamber that you'd keep like somebody's possessed by a demon in. Yeah, I didn't watch Mortuary Assistant at all. June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet. It opened. Let's get going.
Sweet child. He grinned at June and stepped toward the open door. I bet you Junpei is a fan of Guns N' Roses. I know he is. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm. And it wasn't June. It was a demon. Oh,
Wait,
What?
it was June.
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
I just imagine like her, like just tapping away and like going around in circles. I think she's claustrophobic. Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of. What if the symbol on the elevator is the name of the devil that's possessing June? Bruh.
Saturn?
Yeah. Being locked up
Afraid
alone
of being
with a...
alone with a boy.
I mean,
Pick that
I'd be
one.
afraid as well. If I was locked
That
up
sounds
with
like the
Junpei.
right answer. Yeah.
Yeah. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small space, alone with me.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
In a way, it was kinda cute. Man. Very demure, you could say, he thought. Still,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. Dun, 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 dun. At least he didn't have to be. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think how innocent she was.
Oh no.
Oh, nothing. It's not important. Come on, let's go.
Damn, Junpei are romantic. Again, he stepped toward the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained. in her loving arms.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
I'm afraid of you.
I've never...
You've never been in an elevator before?
No.
So wait, so you're saying this is your first time?
It's your first time?
Wait a minute. If Junpei is just romantically awkward and I'm like Junpei, what does this mean?
What do you think it means?
Is that why all my girlfriends left me? Ah. You've never been in an elevator with a man alone before, but even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed.
I might get wet.
Xero, don't let her get wet.
You know, with this handsome face, I can't promise anything. Bro. Oh, man.
What?
Down there. I get soaking wet.
I love this game. This is exactly how I'd write it. Uchikoshi is a man of culture.
You and Uchikoshi are on a wavelength.
Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works.
Why is the sheet getting worse? Oh. That's the way I like it.
Is anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else?
What? Out of their eyes, Junpei.
That's true.
So you're saying that you gotta go down to get wet, huh? I see.
You don't mind?
Well, actually, I prefer it.
Mind what?
Wet.
Well, I don't know.
I've never had the experience
I think I
either.
probably, you know, like it.
Oh my god!
Gosh, Jumpy. You're so brave.
I'm so brave. I'm not afraid to get wet.
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing. You know?
I mean, he's not wrong for what he's thinking of, but man.
What happens, happens, right? I mean, if you get the chance, you just gotta go for it. I mean, that's what a man is supposed to do. Yes.
Oh my god! I'm blushing with how manly Junpei is.
You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you.
Yes. I admire myself too.
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
I mean...
I'm really scared.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, like you said,
I'll be here with you, baby.
Before.
Yes. So, I don't think I'll be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
Oh my god. This usually isn't a concern for the woman, June, but I suppose.
Over?
Yes. I'll go to heaven.
What? Okay, we're really dragging this along really far. I've never seen anything like this last this long. Like, it's usually just a line or two that's kind of sus, but my god, this entire conversation. This is like a
This
legit
is one
Weebs
of my most
recording.
vivid memories of 999 is this scene, because it just keeps going.
It's like a snowball that keeps going down a hill that never ends.
It feels
It just takes Junpei so long to click.
and your mind gets all fuzzy fuzzy, like when you pass out.
So you're saying that Junpei is just a shonen protagonist?
At least that's what I've heard from people who have
Yeah,
experienced
a really horny
it.
one.
Yes, just like Araragi,
Yes, I've heard that too.
the quintessential shonen protagonist.
Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
What?
What happens to guys then? What happens to you?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to everyone. Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside. I mean, generally.
Why is it Kiwi here? She fucking loves this.
I'm sorry, I can't speak Kiwi for you.
I don't think anybody can be Kiwi for anyone else.
No.
Clearly, Junpei doesn't have much experience with the yaoi.
Yes, it does.
Well, June, I guess June does.
Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. Eventually.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do to me?
Like, the absolute panic in his voice. What are you trying to do to me?
Because I didn't sign up for this.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh, is that so?
Wait, we're talking about getting wet from the seawater. What's happening with the psychological reaction? Are you saying that it's like
drowning?
Oh. What? How? It's only natural. Is that what's natural for living beings? Perhaps you've been mistaken all these years. Man.
You're reevaluating his life right now.
Maybe they didn't properly teach me sex ed. Had he misunderstood life so gravely? The thought terrified him. And Stanley knew, as he always has, that June seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion and
I
terror.
know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes.
Right, now you gotta know what she's talking about, Junpei.
Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs.
Or unless if you're thinking about death by snoo at the moment.
Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out. Huh.
Oh.
Hmm? Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what June was trying to say and why she was so scared.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
She was afraid that the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. Put the sus mask back into pocket. Yeah, the scene is over. It's over. We're done with it. Unless, as he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on the A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D-deck, is completely underwater. An elevator heading to a
D-deck.
submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This
So
elevator
it's
came
a
up from somewhere
mountain.
under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
There's no water. Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the
It's
elevator.
not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Damn, Junpei isn't sexy enough for elevator, son.
They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Tested.
Yeah, watch this.
Junpei immediately dies.
I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only two.
Moment he puts a foot in.
E and C. All right, I'll push E.
E would be lower than D? Bruh. Pushed the E button and jumped out the elevator. The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. Be gone, demons!
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
I think the elevator at my apartment building is haunted. It just opens at random doors.
Whoa. I'm sure it's not malfunctioning at all. They're definitely haunted.
Yeah.
Like the ghosts, even though the ghosts can like go through walls and stuff, and they can fly,
They
and
like
they
to
have
go
to use
to
the
the
elevator.
third floor a lot. I don't think they have to. I think they're just fucking with us.
I mean, if I ended up becoming a ghost and I had the chance to fuck with people around me, I probably would. It'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
See? Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest. Just a little bit. June, however, still looked confuzzled.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think.
What do you think now,
The
Junpei?
shaft and E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water.
Ship hasn't
Roger that. This this picture is interesting.
The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
I for sure thought that it was gonna draw like two circular things and then a cylinder. Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back
So I'm
into
gonna
his
go down and
pocket.
check it out. You stay here, all right?
But
Come on, just do it, all right?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped onto the elevator. And that was the last time we ever saw her. He pushed the E button, and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth, as if she was trying to make a decision, and suddenly...
I'm coming with you.
At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to get squeezed by the elevator doors and die.
Hey!
And they both have explosive sex on the way down.
Wait, what? This is so strange. Survey being sus. I know I asked for it, but man, this is really an experience. Something that you wouldn't want to, like, you know, experience firsthand when you wake up in the morning. But I mean, I'm all for it. I'm welcoming it. Just gonna take a little bit of time to get used to, I suppose. Junpei jammed his finger into the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap, it closed.
Now we're all gonna die, June! The door had shut. He and June were in the elevator, and it was headed down to the E deck. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the E deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
I mean, they already proved that it's not wet down there.
In a manner of speaking. The elevator stopped, and the door slid open. And then when they get out, then the elevator becomes wet. What's the button that's under E deck?
I have no idea.
It says button, the second word. I can't read the
It's
first
too
word.
blurry.
They tentatively stepped out and looked
Also,
around.
Junpei,
It's normal.
he said it was only E and C.
Yeah. Astute observation, Junpei. Wait a minute. If he says it's only E and C, then doesn't it mean that this elevator can go all the way to A and B?
Maybe those aren't buttons, they're fake buttons.
Ah, I see. So maybe the translation was that only the C and E buttons work, but, you know. Looks
Like
normal.
fake pockets, they're fake buttons. But they make you think that there's more buttons, but there's really not.
No fish going about their fishy business, or jellyfish
Unfortunate.
floating lazily through the water. There was,
I have
however,
no business here.
a blowfish. Or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown. Oh my god, is she like holding her breath or something?
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
We're just gonna die.
The ceiling's collapsing where I work. In several of the rooms.
What? Is that
I
safe?
think it's residual from, because in the winter we had a bunch of pipes freeze and burst.
Ooh.
So I think it's left over from that, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we had one collapse the other day.
Well, that's a safe work environment, I tell you what. That looks up to code.
Well, we'd probably get really wet up there.
I don't think it's just us being wet. I think we literally just die, Junpei.
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Are we gonna have like a epic
Now then.
scene where we just have to like run while the ceiling's collapsing and let Indiana Jones our way out of here?
That would be epic.
We all just climb into like a refrigerator and then we survive. Junpei glance
That's
around
for
the room.
nuclear blasts, not for
No,
sinking
it
ships.
works both ways. They're like the same
Oh,
thing
okay.
anyways.
Gotcha.
Glance around the room they found themselves in. Everybody knows that they can survive like underwater for years if they're in a refrigerator.
Oh,
You
I
just
see.
eat the food that's in there. The first thing you notice is a set of thick iron bars around the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one.
Iron bars. Well, we can't go over there.
They actually look pretty easy to fit through.
Right.
Then maybe...
They're pretty thick. Some thick bars.
Thick. In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an opening. Aha! An opening. He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait.
Looks
is
like a
that-
3.
It's an upside down 9!
Let's check.
Junpei and June set off down the hallway at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. How very, very informative of you. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. You know, to be more specific, they should have just gave us how exactly the speed that they were running at. On it was a number.
2.6 miles per hour.
Whoa. bright red paint, upside down
I
9.
knew it.
What did you know? You didn't know shit, man.
This is a numbered door.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
god.
A couple
at
geniuses down here.
At first, I thought that it was a regular door, but no. My suspicions were indeed correct.
The door with a giant number on it was, in fact, a numbered door. Who'd have thought?
Impossible! Sona Masaka! There was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
The two of
Correct.
us.
And let everyone know.
Just the
Yeah.
two of us. Junpei and June turned and headed back to C deck.
Wait, what's this?
On their way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall.
Is this
How many
the-
maps does he have in his pockets now?
Oh wait, isn't that 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Junpei's got deep pockets, man. No wonder why June's trying to go for him.
I should take it with me. Huh, so you guys found door 1.
They met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they'd found. Apparently, there was another numbered door on A deck, just like the one on E deck, beyond the door that the Earth Key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the
So
door.
now we've located 2 new doors. The 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Imagine like they open the number 6 door and then it just floods
Just all
immediately.
water, yeah.
Yeah.
Still very interesting.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Very interesting.
That means Zero planned
Not
this out.
suspicious at all.
That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
Are we on a ship?
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Arr.
I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
I
You
mean,
know-
he's already got a replica of the Titanic or a sister ship. Like, that,
I mean-
that already is going to cost quite a bit of money.
What do you mean? Nowadays they can
you-
just 3D print it.
It would have been a
Honestly,
time,
a
that's for
3D
sure.
printed ship would be pretty sick.
I don't know whether it would hold, but
Do you
I
think
mean,
you could make the world's largest 3D printer?
yeah, that would be a feat in and of itself, to be
Well,
honest.
that does go along with what Ace was saying.
3D printer is one of those things that if I had a bigger living space, I would 100% want a 3D printer.
Oh yeah, check your ninja. You are currently dead.
Just like me in real life.
The most reasonable explanation would be that
I don't know
this
what to
is
do
a
about it when it
organization
freezes.
with access to a whole lot of cash.
Oh, it's back.
I have done nothing. It just dies every once in a while.
I see.
Yes, it does make sense.
A thought made them all go quiet for a moment. Hmm. June bit her lip, while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large, pleading eyes.
You're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
Yes. 8 plus 6 plus 5 equals 9 and 10, 1.
Just
Yes.
kidding. Alright, let's go.
I don't believe her. Not for a
yeah.
second.
She definitely isn't just kidding. Lotus's
You
words
wanted to
were
leave.
all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went.
Impetus.
You don't hear that
June-
word very often.
Junpei has quite the vocabulary.
He has quite the vocabulary, but none of the brains when it comes to romantics. The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous
but that's
voice
how I
echoed
feel
across
like
the
most
room.
writers with like big vocabulary, they try to hide the fact that they're actually stupid by just using big words.
That actually reminds me, when I was a kid, there was this one Chinese kid, right? Whose parents were like, oh, can you be friends with our son? He's incredibly smart. He's like very, very smart, like the top of his class, really. But he doesn't have many friends, so can you like break the ice with him? So like we were like, yeah, sure, we'll be friends with him. And then the dude just comes up and starts talking in like tongues and stuff, like, I am intuitively quite famished at the moment. Do you perhaps have some provisions to provide to me?
Oh, I love those kinds of people.
I don't remember all the words that he used. I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, I used to read a lot of books when I was a kid, so I understood them, but I've never ever heard anybody speak them in an actual conversation.
Well, that's like my brother, not growing up, it was when he was older, but like he would be really into like those literature books that like college literature professors will rant and rave about. So
Oh
like
my
the one that he was
God.
obsessed with was Infinite Jest, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm sorry, I have no interest in a book where you have to look up in a dictionary every other word. It's like, I'm sorry for just wanting to read a fun story and not actually care about the immaculate writing and incredible vocabulary of the author. Like, I just don't care. I have zero interest in that. Maybe I am just not cultured enough for like those kinds of books, but
I
not
think
for
it's
me,
just like
thank you.
what you're looking for. Like, I mean, I'd probably read that if I wanted to expand my vocabulary to describe stuff a lot better, right? But
I feel like it's one of those books that you read just to say you've read it more than to actually enjoy reading it.
yeah,
But I could be wrong. If
it
any
was
Infinite
7.
Jest fans are watching, I'm sorry.
Infinite Jest fans who happen to be Zero Escape fans who are also into VTubers.
You don't think there's overlap?
I don't know if there's a correlation there, to be honest with you.
Well, if you are one of those people, then leave a comment and let us know.
Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. They're kinda sus. 7 had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. To be fair, I think Kiwi's always kinda in that moment, but she doesn't
with
really
her health
acknowledge
the
it.
way it is, yes.
Yeah. I'm surprised that she doesn't pass out more often, to be honest with you. For a long momente, they simply stood there, looking at one another. Stanley simply stood there, looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did.
Awkward.
And Stanley decided that the game was trying to tell him a message to move on from this room. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
Whoa, calm down there, mister. 7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him. Hard. His shoulders were trembling and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
7 couldn't finish. Oh my god, did they actually find Snake under a box? Imagine he actually did get squished by Ace under a box. He just looked away. his face twisted by Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is dead.
His eyes are clearly open, game.
He died, just as the 9th man did.
Exclamation.
This is like the Metal Gear Solid alert sound.
My friend at work, her text message tone for the longest time was Navi just, hey, listen. And her phone goes off constantly in the office. And then she eventually changed it. And what did she decide to change it to? She changed it to the Metal Gear alert noise. So then it just has that noise go off. And I think, honestly, that one might be worse. So you're just sitting there reading emails and checking your schedule shit, and all of a sudden you just hear the alert. You go, what?
Whoa, I've been discovered. Quick, hide under a box. Bruh. At least like the hey listen, that's annoying, right? But like the Metal Gear alert sound, it kind of conditions you to like to
just brief panic.
Pay attention, yeah. What is this music? Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. Actually, this is pretty hot sweat, not gonna lie. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces Shiro.
Oh my god, that's not true, is it?
No, they're lying. This is all just a prank. It's a social experiment, June.
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
Imagine Snake just comes back near the end. They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait, not that way.
What?
What?
Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at 7. But where? The door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked.
Good job, 7.
Where
Seven's
is,
the badass we knew he
Where
was.
is he?
The shower room. On the left side of the hallway.
Damn, dude went to go take a shower and then blew up.
I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
Oh my god. Is that why, Toko never takes a shower?
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Yes, we
The
must see
destination
Snake's
clear.
exploded body.
Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number.
I'm gonna be honest, if I were in this situation, I'd just take their word for it. Snake's exploded in the shower room? Okay, I believe you.
Oh, actually, Serby, do you have like your browser in the background or something?
Do I have my browser in the background? I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
I mean, like the moment I ask you to like check your Ninja OBS, then your model comes back to life, but then later on it just goes dead for whatever reason.
It's the same as it always is.
Oh, well, now that I mention it, now you're back to life. What did you do? Did you click onto it or something?
I did.
Yeah, okay. I think that's it. Like, the moment it turns into, like, a background process, I think it just stops working.
That's mildly annoying. I'll move it over here.
Once in the
So it's
hallway,
just
it was
open.
easy to spot the metal door on the left wall.
This wasn't open when we passed here before.
Unless if, like, the internet can hear my thoughts on my words, and it's like, oh,
It's
yeah,
possible.
sorry.
It might.
But now,
yeah.
just as Seven had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open. What? He said that there was a screwdriver. What did it
I know,
turn
the
into a
first
broom?
door. The first door was a screwdriver. The second door was a broom.
Ah, I see.
I just imagine Seven like scuffling to try and find an object, like, broom.
What? I don't know why, but I just had a flashback to like one of PewDiePie's older videos where he said that he'd stick a broom up Barrel's ass, and then he actually did.
Oh, it's
Yeah, no shit.
I see what you did there. Lois wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut. Even Santa? My God.
Yeah. Who wants to smell exploded body?
This is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
I mean, people who work at a mortuary, like maybe an assistant at a mortuary, would probably be fine with it. I don't know.
No. Most people still don't like the smell.
I'm not saying like the smell, I'm just saying like not actually like, you know, they have to pinch their nose at it. It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick they could almost taste it. Mwah. It was sour and smelled of fish, feces, and burnt meat.
Excuse you, how dare you?
It smells like you, Sophie. What do you think?
No, I smell better than a dead body.
Are you sure about that?
I hope so. I can't actually smell very well, but I like to think that people can be in my presence without plugging their nose.
Batman looks over to you. Really? Is that what you think about yourself?
No, don't say that. That makes me sad and self-conscious.
It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach. Let me in. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
Where is he?
Snake! They didn't have to wonder where the body was. Why did Junpei ask?
There.
Oh.
There.
There. There was blood everywhere. A few arms of the splatter. Reaching toward them as they walked in through the door. How poetic of you, Junpei. I see what you did there. One sec. Water. Drinking water. Oh yeah. Gia, if you're here, make sure to drink water. Very important.
Everyone. I'm gonna go get more water now that you have said it.
Ah. Oh, my model just disappeared. It went down under the screen. That was incredible. Just like I did when I went under my table. Ah, yeah. Water's pretty good, man. The body itself was hidden behind a divider. Oh, thank God for that.
You should stay here.
No, June, you should look upon the body.
Please, just do me a favor. All right?
Come here, June. You need to see this for yourself to know the horrors of death. You didn't give her a chance
that
to say
was the
no.
whole point of coming in here, was to make sure. You didn't believe him enough.
That's true. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole. What?
Right into the blood-stained floor.
Shove her right into the body. Don't look, June, don't look. Turn and walk
Just
toward
feel
the
it.
end of the
Feel it with
divider.
your face.
I'm going in.
Oh, with your face? Ah! Oh. I'm going in. I felt like it took an eternity for him to get there.
Ah. Oh.
Eee. Xanolos followed, timid and nervous, like a pair of children. Eventually they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded slowly. How dramatic do you guys gotta be, man? Just look.
Very, very dramatic.
I don't
But
know
like
what
I said,
I would...
if I were in this situation, I wouldn't have gone. I would have just said, yes, I believe you, and moved on with my life.
Ugh. For a moment, he forgot how to breathe. He
I feel
felt
like
his
we
heart.
have to just record a bunch of reaction noises at some point, Zero. It feels like it would be useful. I don't know for what, but... just,
Useful
ah, oh, mm.
You sort of like alerts and stuff. Ugh. Oh, thank you for subscribing. And just serving moan whenever somebody donates.
But all just as in ellipses.
In ellipses? I see. How do you speak in ellipses?
Well, according to 999, it's a whole lot of
He felt his heart collapse at his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. That's a very strange thing to compare it to. He knew in that instant that he would take the image before him to the grave.
Is that what you would call it? A cigarette carton? It's a carton?
I've never smoked before, so I don't know.
Me either. I always just would have referred to it as a box.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, is a carton not just a fancy box? I don't know.
I mean, a carton is just referring to a container, right? Oh.
Like, when I think carton, I think, like, milk and, like, that kind of shape.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, I picture then if you're going to say a cigarette carton, I picture, like, a little tiny milk carton, but with cigarettes in it.
Oh, I'm sure that would sell very well.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it cute, I'm sure there'd be an audience for it.
I don't think it's even legal to make it cute. Well, at least not here in Thailand.
I have no idea. I've never looked at the laws of cigarette sellings. It's
I don't know.
something I've been really interested in.
Like, I don't know how it is in, like, the States or whatever, or any other part of the world, but here in Thailand, they have to, like, show pictures of what cigarettes can do to you and, like, lung cancer and stuff on the box. So, like, you just see horrendous images of it on the box. So
I don't think we have that here. I think they're just pretty plain looking. I'm not sure. Like I said, never bought them before, so I've never really looked. But they're like kind of on display. Like you have to go to a very specific counter at the grocery store to like buy them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but here I think it's required by law to like warn people about the dangers of smoking.
I feel like that's good. I don't know. It sounds gross, but I guess that's the point.
Yeah, the point is to gross people out so much that they don't smoke in the first place. So yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, like, if you are just buying it, even though you see all those images on the box anyways, and you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, yeah. No ignorance later. Flow. Oh, why are my lungs dead?
Yeah. Now you know. You just look at the box like, oh, well, damn.
Like I see. I'll take 2.
No regrets,
yes,
man.
Yes, please. I do want.
We have the same laws for alcohol as well, where they have to say that yes, alcohol can cause like serious health issues, and cancer and stuff later on in your life. Chunks of flesh torn from the body, sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. I'm such a poet. My God. To be
islands in a sea of blood,
or not to be tiny flesh islands in the Red Sea.
Imagery.
A vast ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Delicious. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall.
You can buy on
even as
Amazon
they tried to
replica lumps of fat.
Yeah.
And they're just like plastic yellow lumps.
Ooh.
Just like he said.
They're expensive for just a plastic replication of fat.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man.
Gross.
The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
Oh god. Oh jeez.
Definitely an open fracture.
Why are we focusing on this? Dude literally has a hole in his body. Like, oh my god, he has an open fracture. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna.
Not the radius, so only the ulna?
Only the ulna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
Didn't quite get to the humor,
experts now? His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
Face. It's horrible.
The face, not the face. Ah, can't even tell who it is. Then Snake appears later on in the story. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce.
What is with the food allergens?
I don't know, man. Junpei kind of weird. It actually reminds me of a certain comment on a Danganronpa video.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
Piping? Hipping?
The piping.
The piping of a jacket. They're all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Turns out it's somebody else who's wearing Snake's clothes. Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and
The wolf in
strained,
Snake's clothing.
and Junpei heard it catch in her throat. We just
This
take his
moving
body
camera.
here and then put it on one of the hospital beds to treat him.
Just gather all the parts. Yeah.
You know, if we gather all the parts of Exodia, we might be able to revive him. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl.
Mine
What?
too when you word it like that.
How do your teeth curl?
I don't know, but I hate it.
Do your teeth? Are your teeth allowed to enter into the Winter Olympics? Is this a thing? It sounded like the
What
noise a
happens when
ghost
you
would make.
use a broom, but with like your mouth?
Use a broom with your mouth.
Like in curling when you like sweep the ground.
I see. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Like, yeah, you're like curling with your teeth, but also your teeth are probably curling from all the pressure that you're putting onto them. And then your gums are just shifting around.
I hate it, thanks.
Just like the last episode of Made in Abyss. I don't know why I'd say so. It was like, I kind of like it. What?
I mean, was it a good episode? Yes. Did it
Yeah.
make me happy? No.
No. Every time I put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby. Who looks far more like a ghost than a living human should. My god, Junpei really is maidenless. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. She's a robot. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 billion pieces.
Snake was probably murdered.
Murdered.
Same way the Ninth Man was.
No shit, Seven. Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. Okay, I'll lower my voice too. There were 4 other people in the room. Junpei and 7. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus.
So everyone but Clover.
Oh my god. 7 looked at each one of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it, alone, and waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake, but he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose.
Is 7 just like a master Danganronpa player or something?
Unfortunately, it didn't work.
What is this? I mean, you're on the verge of death, so I guess you could make whatever face you want.
The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was the only one who went through the door. And then, 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
So that means the killer
That.
is among us.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Multiple perps. Why is perp such a funny word?
It's just sort short for perpetrators. Therefore, perpetrators are also kind of funny.
No, it's just perp.
Well, just in case.
Perp,
I wanna make sure.
perp.
Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Tell me, Serby, who's the
That
traitor?
means none of us have alibis.
It was you, Xero.
It was me. Nonary.
We were all off.
I just have like a
searching
split
rooms we
personality,
looking for those parts.
and I don't remember what's been going on when my other split personality gets to work.
That means
You're like
could
Toko.
be a killer.
No, I'm not like Toko.
Wait a minute. What are you talking
I'm
about?
like Makoto, who's actually the real mastermind. Bruh.
Yeah.
How can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Funny that
First
June is
time?
saying this, because she's the
Well,
killer.
Just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
I think it's pretty easy,
Just
right, to
the
figure
2
out.
of us.
Because we know if we added up the numbers, and then we'd have like a possible
Okay, who is it?
perpetrators.
Xero. Quick math. Who did it?
So you went through door 3, right?
No.
Snake has 2.
Uh-huh.
So to get to 3, we need 12.
Uh-huh.
So 2, 12, we need 10. So it's June and Clover. Yes, they try. They both.
I see.
June and Clover plan to kill Snake.
I think we've solved it.
I mean, it could be Santa and 7, or like Booba and Ace. No, not Booba and Ace. What am I talking about?
No.
Booba needs to be paired with Snake, but then they wouldn't get to 12. So yeah.
Yeah, because you can't use Snake twice.
Wait. Oh yeah, that's Lotus. I was wondering who was named Booba.
What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Xero wants, you know?
You think that's what I want?
Xero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Xero, wasn't it?
Well, technically, Serby bought it for me, so.
Any game has a winner and
I think
a
by
loser.
setup, I mean you installed it and set it up.
Yeah, I did also place it into OBS and started streaming it too. I guess that is a thing.
Whoever makes it through
Yeah.
door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Xero is trying to make us fight against one
Don't
another.
judge me! I feel self-conscious about this, okay? I'm just trying to have a little fun here. Can't people have fun in their lives?
Then you're saying that Xero is trying
Not
to
at the
split us
cost
up
of
and
Snake,
make us fight each
Xero.
other?
Everybody else is fine, but not Snake. Oh, one of the biggest characters in gaming franchises ever. Man.
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion.
At least Snake isn't here to suffer with us anymore.
And form a strong
And we
bond
just
of
had this
friendship.
trial on Danganronpa, and it ended with Sakura's death. Let's not.
Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Zero.
Killed Snake.
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself.
How could you?
If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero.
Look, man, I'm just saying that Ace is kind of sus.
He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
I'm just saying, you know, if Snake was 2 and Ace is 1, then it could also be Clover and Santo.
All 4 of them, yeah.
Yeah,
Good question.
all 4 of them equal 0. Wait, no, they
Wait,
they
no,
equal
that's
3.
not it.
Junpei hadn't really
If
considered
Zero
that.
killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
I mean,
It'd be
I'm actually
Clover and June
controlling
again.
Junpei. Clover and June again?
No, wait. You need 9. That's too much math.
Yeah, I mean 3, right? So it would be Clover and Santo, Ace and Snake. So that would be 3. Oh no, that's
No.
10. Yeah, I'm just. Was Zero still on the ship with them? Of course.
It would be Clover and Junpei.
Of course, then that actually does work out. That means Zero actually did kill Snake. I didn't even write 5 as Junpei, that's why I didn't even look at it. I just wrote it as 0. Maybe I was big brain this entire time, who knows? Nah, I don't know, man. Junpei wasn't sure.
Something's still strange.
Hmm? What was that?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrows shot up out of his face.
I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp.
Ouch.
I just woke up, man.
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Yeah.
This shit.
Zero said, this ship, several times when he addressed us.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably refer to as this ship, even if I wasn't on the ship.
Yeah.
But
That's kind
If
of
he
weak
weren't
logic.
here, he wouldn't say this ship, would he?
oh, Ace.
I mean, you
big
can if you're
brain.
hypothetically putting yourself in that ship.
Yeah,
right?
like
If you're
if you
speaking,
if you imagine yourself as the captain of the ship, then obviously
Yeah.
you'd roleplay.
Saying something
or if you're referring to them who are on this
or
ship.
that ship.
And you'd say this ship as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it makes more sense
I
in
guess that makes
Japanese.
sense.
I don't know.
Maybe. The semantics are kind of weird, regardless.
Yeah. Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish that he hadn't seen it himself. So, he was left with a question, and it was one of no small
if
importance.
Zero's on the ship, where is he?
A
He's
bathroom.
be this entire time he's just been sitting there like watching VTubers on the toilet. So
He's
this
just
was
got going
cold.
back and forth between watching them and watching VTubers.
I mean, both are equally as entertaining, so fair. Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting, moaning noise. And then we just... This is the part where I would use the survey mode if this was a recorded video.
Batman is making the cutest face right now. I can't.
It's
Look
all a
at him,
lie,
Zero.
survey.
Look
It's all a
at him.
lie.
Look at him.
Oh my god. Bruh.
It's the face he's making to me across the room.
It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I'll show this stream. I'll put in
One of
OBS.
us.
You guys deserve to see it too. Oh, where did I save it?
Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of their jailer. But who? Was he one of them? Actually, I am among them, so...
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Xero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
Oh, there he is.
Look at him, chat.
No reason.
Look at him
Got a
being
great
adorable.
reason. And what's that? Bracelets.
He held out his left
There are
arm.
bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets. You're all thinking Xero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet? You got a point. I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Xero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Xero bother to do something like that?
Maybe he just gets a kick out of playing in Zero Escape. Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who
So
answered.
let's say you and Clover are right. Xero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right? Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Seven, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Xero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
I mean, we could pair up and have killed Snake for whatever reason.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Xero. Hence, Xero is one of us. Seven and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Xero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure they believed him or not.
Which brings us back to where we started, is to who could have killed.
I think it was 9. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Xero want to hide? As
He's
one of us?
ableist and wanted to get rid of the disabled person.
Well, that's because...
Oh my god. He did it all for a political agenda. Yes. Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
Don't know.
Don't know
So much for making a
Zero's
persuasive
motives.
argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. Oh, ugh, we lost hearts. Man,
Oh no.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this trial. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at that wasn't Lotus's boobs. Into that horrible silence.
He stares straight into Seven's boobs instead.
Ooh. I heard a bell begin to ring. I don't know which is better. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
Jesus Christ, you guys must be real sleepy.
Then we need to move now.
I mean, they slept on their way here.
Junpei,
I suppose so.
I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
Like, for me, it doesn't really matter if I was asleep. It's like, my internal clock is like, yeah, this is not the time we should be awake.
You're right, but
It's pretty apparent when we
But
play
you're also
Danganronpa.
inside a building where you can't, like, see the outside at all.
I suppose so. I wouldn't know what that feels like. I have never competed in a Nonary game before, so maybe the adrenaline in and of itself would probably keep me awake.
Probably.
He swallowed the words he wanted
I
to
think
say
life or death can
inside.
do that to you.
Seven and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something, somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were
our
going.
next destination is Mercury.
Mercury.
To space! That's Junpei's like conclusion. You know, if we're on a sinking ship, all we gotta do is go to space. Be
Maybe June
brave.
should check it out first and then report back to us.
What do you
Why?
mean?
Let's go, June.
Why?
Right.
You know, we're just gonna stay here and like wait for you guys. So like, you guys go and do that.
Here it is.
I feel like that was just like a convenient like solution to like, yeah, let's not have to write everybody in the situation. It's salt. Yes, it sat bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between the two elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
It's
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
a female symbol. Yay.
Found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think Seven said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Junpei slid the card through the reader. A light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise.
The elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
I feel like that clicking electronic noise is like it's a free noise that anybody can use, because I'm pretty sure I heard that in the Stanley Parable.
All of a sudden.
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
Aww.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
And then it turns out that June is zero,
I'm
and my
glad I
suspicions
made
are
it.
all correct.
Oh. First, we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Are you wet, June?
Just like we did before.
Yeah, just like we did before, that whole conversation.
We just start back from square one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Misunderstanding reset.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes.
No, let's go.
Let's go, baby! Woo, that's what I'm talking about! Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator.
Look. Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
Bottom? But who's the bottom here in
C
Junpei?
deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well,
Your
let's
only
try.
choice is to bottom.
Damn. I wouldn't mind that. Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward. Well, I guess it depends on who's
It's the
topping.
bottom deck.
It's Clover.
Oh god, no! Let me out of here! They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end. But not a regular dead end. Oh, no, 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 mister. It was a special one. Oh my god. Is that?
Door.
Oh my god, Jude, it is?
This is the 8th one we found.
Oh man.
There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They
Why
were
is this an
4
important
and
detail?
5.
Oh, so you're saying that the next number door we find would be 9.
3 more
Wow.
large hospital
That's
rooms.
the hypothesis.
Doors 3, 7, and 8.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck.
What if, like, the next door we find is just, like, 12?
It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door.
How do I get the digital root of 12?
This doesn't make any sense. No! You had a big brain and say that the 12th door is just 3 again.
That means,
Do you think the next door we find?
yeah,
No.
I think so.
No, I
The
don't.
next
No.
one's gonna be door 9.
I don't see the logic in this at all. Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
We're all gonna die.
Look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
Junpei's the real mastermind, and he set up this game so that he could get closer to June, his childhood friend that he had a crush on.
Our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Okay.
He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June. It's like, I mean, I know that this game is very wholesome and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure June and Junpei are not going to be like, you know, they're not going to have a happy ending. It's flashback. It's designer's genius again. Incredible.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
Oh, the 7 pieces. The 7 nights. Pieces of paper they folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Right next to my legs. Everyone had written on paper, pulled from Junpei's notebook, in an effort to pull together a blind vote. Alright, chat.
Double checking, but everyone knows the code
We're
name and the door
voting.
number they want, right?
Yeah.
Code name and the door number they want.
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why had they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
I have a brilliant idea. I decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. It would allow people to force others to go through certain doors.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of. However, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of
All right, let's
paper.
open these up.
Open it up!
The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do.
That makes a lot of
Would
sense.
you like me to explain why?
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
No, shut up, Ace. I don't care. You open the second one.
To Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with third, fourth, and fifth pieces of
Seven
paper.
wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
What? Lotus, come
How could
on.
you?
There'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But,
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
I mean, I don't know about you, Seven, but
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
I think that would be pretty justified. Lotus's hair flared out like the mane of an angry lion, and she roared with a voice that shook the walls. Ah, not good.
Let go of me! I'm killing him!
With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her. You know, maybe Lotus' best character.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
That's kind of sus.
June goes, that's my number. I kind of want to go through my number.
But if you read into it a bit deeper, maybe she wants the 6. And then 9. Whoa. All the papers save Junpei's had been read. I mean, technically, yeah, she wants to go through door 6 to then be able to go through door 9, so I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
He did some quick calculations in his head. I'm sure Uzukoshi was also thinking that.
Ace and Clover requested door 1.
This was a door in A deck near the central staircase.
7
What is
Lotus
this?
requested door 2.
Oh, that's 1. Okay. I was like, what waterfall is going through the entire ship? The door on bottom deck could be reached by taking the elevator. Oh, do I have to remember all this?
Santa and June requested door 6.
I mean, it may or may not be making you pick a door here shortly.
Are you serious? Man, I want to go through whatever doors Lotus is going through. Not gonna lie. And 7's also there, both like the best characters in the same door. But I'd also like Santa and June. Like, I'm just saying, like, the NTR is there.
You just don't want to go through a door with Clover and Ace.
No. Ace isn't really interesting enough for me, and Clover is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Who should I go with? Which way do I have to go to get to the good end?
I am not telling you that.
It took him
You
less than
will
a second
live with
to run
your
the numbers.
decisions, Xero.
You opened
Maybe.
the 7th piece of paper and spoke.
Okay.
I'm most
the
likely
last one
going
is
to
mine.
die with it.
I want to go through.
What do you think, chat? Any chatters out there? Gee, please help me.
Xero, you're like, I don't want to commit, please.
You know what? I'm just gonna poll this with all the live concurrent viewers. I'm sure we'll come to a decision that everybody will like. Oh man!
Just do a random number generator between 1 and 3.
Random number generator, huh?
Yeah.
All right. If we do a random number generator, I'll use Udai then. Hold on a second, guys. Command.
Important
3.
decisions are being made. Because Xero can't take responsibility for himself.
Oh my god, it's 3 out of 3. Guys. It looks like we're going to door number 6. I mean, I really want to go through door number 2, because that's where Lotus is, but we also have to, like, the childhood friend thing that's going on.
Yeah. You gotta play the character. You are Junpei. Junpei wants June.
Yeah, Junpei isn't into MILFs.
Yes, he's proven that one.
Well, we can go back to this point and then do the other routes, right?
You will have to, actually, yes.
I will have to. Oh, oh yeah. That's how the visual novel works. I have to go through every ending till I get to, like, a true end, right?
I don't think you technically have to get through every ending, but I do recommend it, and it's not hard. Once you've gone all the way down, you don't have to, like, you can kind of pick and choose a little bit more, and you can fast forward any dialogue you've already heard.
Why can't I check the flow?
This is the moment where I'd want to check the flowchart.
Man. Fine. I'll do what the random number generator says. I'll play the character. I'll go with June. I'm so sorry, Lotus. I still love you. I hope you survive and you're not the traitor. Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read, Junpei, door 6. He just quickly wrote it down there before he opened it up. Of course it did. You've written it, after all.
That's the problem.
Well, shit, I'm sorry. June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she'd said.
Will be able to go through the doors they want.
We foiled them.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
We're gonna need Ace.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
Well, guess we'll just die then. Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The other followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
Her face was cold and flat, as was her chest, but her voice, but her logic was sound.
0. Inappropriate.
Seven and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 equals 19 and 101. I mean, it's fitting that Lotus has to go through the same door with Clover to balance it out. Also, to balance out the boobas. I mean, it's Seven's job to balance
There
that out.
must be equilibrium.
Yes, or else the universe would end, you know. The first problem resolved, Ace spoke up.
What about me?
What about me?
Isn't that
Do your
obvious?
own math, Ace.
Wasn't
You can
one of the
figure
teams
this
just
out.
complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
I'm telling you, Clover is actually 0. Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless.
She's the smartest one of them thus far.
And that's why she survived till the next game, because she's a traitor. Oh. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Actually, in before, like, that's just another character with the same name. Her response was
I
understandable.
won't confirm or deny anything.
Given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so.
Also, Clover's a code name.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be
No
the most
one gets
reasonable
left behind.
solution.
No child left behind. I remember that.
7, Lotus. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
And then I left the school system.
Me?
Homeschool for the win.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
See you later.
Damn.
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own.
Don't move on your own.
Going to then.
Yeah, be careful.
We should get going as well.
Yeah.
No, we should just stay here. At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, Lotus, headed to A deck, where door number 1 was near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. It's surprising that June chose this because it's where, like, you know, the ceiling could collapse and then all the water would flood in, then we'd all die. But hey.
Just wants to be wet.
So that was a true desire all along.
This is E deck.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right,
What if there
let's go.
isn't?
It just is gone.
Santa's
It's
words
vanished.
jolted them to action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. You know, like, if the ship actually just changes shape, I could see that being a possibility. That would be pretty cool. It would be
Yeah.
really frustrating, but... Before long, they arrived in front of door 6.
Here it is. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Then let's get
Roger
to it.
that. One by one, they put their palms over the Red Dead Redemption. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. The door opened, and all at once the four of them leapt through it, like the girl who leapt through
I
time.
found it. It's right there.
Welcome to the stream, Mexican Tale. Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. Oh, Streamlabs is here, finally. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. Yep, we're playing 999. Are you familiar with the game? They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one. You familiar with any of the Zero Escape games? They're pretty fun.
Stopped.
You say that like you played them.
Yes.
Yes!
You totally played this much of 999.
I can already tell how fun all of the Zero Escape games are.
You're exclusively playing Resident Evil 4. I've heard good things about Resident Evil. I've played 7 and 8. I haven't played the older ones.
Resident Evil 4, was that Leon? I forget.
I have no idea.
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. Mega Man's Legacy Collection? What is that? It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat.
Ooh, I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something.
Like
I
in the
want to get used
first
to.
door, they like had a panic and were trying really hard to find the thing to get out, and all the other ones following it. Like, yep, it's right here. We're good.
We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
I think imminent death is a normal
Once
thing.
I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
Oh, Mega Man and Legacy Collection? Okay, that's pretty cool. I remember playing some of the Mega Man games. They were really fun.
I
I
agree.
played a lot of like GBA games, but Mega Man was never one that I got into. I don't know if I've played any Mega Man game.
With that, the doom and gloom from before was done, and the mood turned somewhat lighter.
All right, let's go.
With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. Yeah, that was some good humor. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
This door looks heavy.
But it's not
What an
locked.
astute
I'm opening it.
observation, June. He took hold of the bar that served at its doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. What is this? It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal, none of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
What kind of description for a room is that? Santa got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them.
This room got me all turned around.
Oh god. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than
This has to
gasps.
be the biggest room so far. The ceiling is pretty high too.
Huh. Could be 2 stories, maybe even more.
Don't tell me that we're gonna have to like find a way to escape this huge ass room.
This space could
Yeah.
be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
On the PS2? You emulating that, or do you have the PS2? I remember playing that. It was really fun back in the day. I don't know where my PS2 is now. Sanch. June pointed to the massive building in the center.
Kamaboko? Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any.
Kamaboko? Is that a
I
Japanese
actually know what
thing?
that is. I'll Google it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what that would be off the top of my head. It's food.
Kamaboko is a food? What
Oh,
kind of...
it's a like fish cake thing.
fish cake thing?
Yeah,
Let me
I'll put a picture of it. Google suggests me.
Oh, the thing that you put on top of ramen.
Yeah.
I see. That's a weird way
Our
to describe a
Streamlabs
building.
finally woke up.
Yeah, it's here. The scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area of the proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important to mention.
Stairs, so we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide
I like how
enough to
that's
fit
the
one
thing that
person.
Junpei struck him as. Yeah, that's not important right now. Everything else, though, very important, must mention.
Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side too.
They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk.
A massive building.
They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine
Oh.
room?
I'm glad somebody finally realized what it was.
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler.
A cross-section of a mushroom.
You see that 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam.
Ah, it's one of those old-ass steam
The same
engines.
thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
I see.
Zero, who is that beside you? Oh, I see you don't know who my fishy assistant Servy is. Say hello, Servy.
Hello.
Doesn't
Hello.
appear to be running right now.
She is, quite a special assistant.
What does that mean?
Whatever you want it to be. The entire room was as silent as the grave.
All right, let's split up.
How are you, a fish girl, Servy?
I mean, I
Well,
don't know how to answer that one.
she's an experiment of mine that I did while mutating a fish, and then it turned out that she evolved into this. So I made her my assistant, as like any good mad scientist would.
Yeah.
He heard a noise behind him. Turned just in time to see June. What?
Hey, what's wrong? Are you all right?
Why is Junpei's hand so big? I feel like there's a bit too big. Or
Are you judging the size of his hands?
yeah, I am. But I mean, I might also be complimenting Junpei because you know what big hands mean. Oh man. He dashed toward her and wrapped his arm around her shoulders to steady her. You know, originally, Servy, when she was a fish, she wasn't actually a girl. It was then that he noticed.
You... Oh, you...
I don't actually know what I want to do with the lore anymore. It's just kind of there.
Is your fever coming back?
Yes.
Oh wait, yeah, she did have a fever.
Probably his. I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me.
It probably got worse when she got wet that time.
I just need to rest. And I'll be fine.
Adds up.
Yeah. Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
Okay, here, sit down, careful.
Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. We just put her on like the conveyor belt. She let her head fall back.
Have a nice
the wall.
trip now, June. Enjoy it.
All the way straight into the engine. As if she no longer had the strength to support it and drew a ragged breath.
Thank you.
Her eyes were empty, as if she was having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist, and then he punched her. Clenched tight. His knuckles widening.
Imagine.
Snap out of it, June. He had to find a way out quickly. It's like the last episode of Mid Abyss, right? Get better! He turned and looked at Ace, and Santa entered.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Ace Santa.
Right.
They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern.
All right, let's get started. Hang in there, June.
I don't know what that
I'm gonna get
means.
you out of here
I'm
real
concerned though.
She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Don't eat my assistant, Mexican tail. It's not hygienic. Seek a way out. Steam engine room. Right, this is a big ass room. Oh man, okay. Well, this also seems like the perfect time to end the stream. Oh man. Oh god.
You can probably access your flowchart now if you want to look
Oh yeah,
at
I
it.
can. Menu, flow. Oh, we're going straight down the middle, boys.
You've gone straight down.
Like we've gone as straight down the middle as possible throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Like I don't think this choice really matters. It's just, I guess, picking up flags or something, and maybe some more info. But yeah, oh my god, we're really going down the MC route. I wonder what this choice is going to be.
I wonder.
Which one is the good and the bad? I feel like the good one is going to be the longer one. I hope.
Is
Things are going down. Yeah, literally, dude. It's it's something. Right. Let me save the game. Boop-a-doop.
Yeah, all the routes go down.
I mean, we're gonna have to go down each and every route, and we're gonna have to see the shit that goes down in each and every route. Oh, but yes.
Save the puzzle for a time when you're more awake, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, no, because if we start the next stream with the puzzle, I'm probably gonna be pretty sleepy since I just woke up.
Maybe I'll be
But
less sick though.
Oh yeah, that's also true. So, yes, thank you to everybody who came to the stream, lurking and chatting. And we'll see you guys at the same time next week. I think you're still available, right, Serby? Or are you at your parents' house?
No, I'll be here. It's just Sunday.
Okay, cool. But yeah, special shout out to you guys, to your Chip and Mexican Tail. But until next week, later, dudes.
Bye bye.